And we're back. Sean Lutz is with me now, and we are discussing the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and that's a mouthful. And anyway, she is the director of the play, and that's the Putnam County Spelling Bee, or I'm just going to call it the Spelling Bee from now on. Not necessarily, I had never heard of it, and not necessarily a big name as far as like something that, a household name, I guess I should say, like Annie or Grease or Peter Pan or something like that. But it's actually a Broadway musical, and it won a Tony Award. It did, and the only reason that I found out about it is because we talked about doing a portion of it for one of our Broadway reviews about a year and a half ago, when we were in the process of talking about what we were going to do next as Encore Performing Arts. Okay. And so as I got to know more about it, and I've actually seen it a couple of times now, then it was like, I think this is a show we could do and have it be accepted here in the Dalles, and people would love to come see it. Yeah. Well, tell us about the play. What's the story about? The story is around 6 spellers who come to this Putnam County Spelling Bee, and they want to win. Is Putnam County an actual place? No, it's a fictitious place, and it takes place at the middle school in the gymnasium. There's also 3 adults, so there's 9 in the cast completely altogether, and every one of the cast members, all 9 of them, have a little backstory, a memory that comes into play as to why they've come to the spelling bee, and their quirkiness and what brings them there, and how they get through being eliminated when they misspell a word, and who wins at the end. It's you go out of it feeling pretty good, I think. Yeah, so it's got a lot of comedy in it. It's got a lot of comedy in it. Is it meant to be a comedy, or is it just, it's meant to be a musical comedy? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now, what made you choose to do the Spelling Bee musical rather than maybe like Chicago or something like that? Well, for me as director, it was a small cast, 1 set that we don't have to change, 1 costume for everybody, and that made it fairly easy as far as trying to decide on something rather than doing Chicago, which takes a lot of dancers. That's a huge commitment. And wondering too maybe how something like Chicago might be accepted in a small rural community too. Good point, yeah. Peter Pan, the high school did only 3 years ago, so there's so many musicals out there that we could choose from. Yeah. We wanted to do something that was fairly new. Yeah, yeah. Well, how many are actually in the cast? 9. 9 are in the cast, okay. And this is your first directing position. It is. Doing a performance. That's got to be kind of nerve-wracking. It's a little intimidating, but I'm the choir director at the First Christian Church, and so I've actually been doing children and youth musicals at my church since 1987. So you probably drew on a lot of I've been directing. What you've learned there. I've actually been the accompanist playing the piano for a lot of the musicals since I was an 8th grader. Really? So I've played you're an old pro. I kind of am, yeah. So how did this come about? How did you get put into this position? Well, after one of the musicals, I actually asked if I could be on the board for Encore. Felt like I needed to give back to the community somehow. And one of our other board members and I were talking about doing, what musical could we do next? And she usually does the directing, and I thought maybe I would do the music directing. Well, she's also a musician, so we thought, well, why don't we switch parts? Maybe I'll direct, and maybe you could do the music. And so that's how it all came about. Okay. And I'm loving it. It's a lot of work, but it is very fun. So how much time are you spending working on this right now? Would you say any given week? Me personally or the cast? You personally. Me personally, I'm going to say right now over 40 hours a week. Really? Yeah, and it's all volunteer? And it's all volunteer. So obviously you got to be passionate about it. And we started rehearsals right after 4th of July. I've been working on it really since April, personally. Gosh. It's a huge investment of time. Yeah, 6 or 7 months for the director. Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't really realize when they go to a performance. They don't. How much blood, sweat, and tears have gone into making something possible that everybody sits down for an hour and 45 minutes maybe, and enjoys, but they don't understand the commitment of and people's time, which is money, that goes into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The like Heidi said earlier, for every one person on stage, there's 5 people behind.
That's incredible.
But there are so many hours. I was just put in from the gal who's helping a little bit with our couple little extra costumes that we have, to even the gal that's my assistant calling the cast, if we have to make a change in our time for rehearsal, down to the sound man and the lights man and the stage director and the person doing the publicity. I mean, there's a lot to it. Components that put together a show.
Yeah. Well, now, is there 6 main characters?
Yes.
And they're actually adults playing children?
Yes.
How does that work? Or maybe it's a very natural fit for them. I don't know.
You know what? I think it's a natural fit for anybody to play a child.
You think so?
Oh, wouldn't you want to play a 4th grader or a 5th grader? I think
I don't know if I might, but I don't know if anybody would want to watch it.
It really, I think that when they get to the point where they're going to be in costume and they've got their hair done, you're looking at a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. And so when you watch them, you don't think you're watching an adult.
Okay. So so do you have like somebody professionally doing the makeup and hair for each character, or is that all volunteer as well?
That's all volunteer. The cast members, most of them have done theater before, so they know how to do their own makeup. And we've been doing hair already along and seeing what works and what doesn't work and what the character needs to have. And so, yeah.
Okay. Does the audience get involved in this production as well?
Yes, they do.
Okay, in what way?
We have 4 audience volunteer spellers that volunteer out in the foyer before the show starts. So we have somebody that's a wrangler for the spellers.
Okay.
And they ask them to participate and see if they want to be a speller, and they come along and get up on the stage. They're called up by name. And come up on stage, and they actually get to spell words. They're asked to only ask for definition and ask for the use of the word in a sentence. And then they spell the word, and either they get it right or they get it wrong. And if they get it wrong, they receive a juice box and they're eliminated from the spelling bee.
They get a juice box. Okay. So when can we see this? When is this actually? Actually, this is going to air on the 10th. So
September 9, 10, 11.
Okay.
September 16, 17, 18, 7:30 p.m. at the Dallas Watonka High School Auditorium.
Okay. Are tickets on sale now?
Tickets are on sale at Clint's Bookstore in the Dalles and Wacoma Bookstore in Hood River.
Great. And
you can get them at the gate at the high school.
Okay, so people could just show up
Yes.
one of the evenings of the performance and get them
Yes.
there as well. Okay, great. And then how about price?
Price $12 for adults and $10 for students and seniors.
Can't beat that.
No.
Good deal. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, and
Thank
best
you.
of luck.
Thanks.
And you plan to do more directing?
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to answer that question a lot better after this
the
is
fact,
over.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good deal. You guys check it out. It's the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. So it's coming right up. Opening night is September 9th. So check it out, and thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time. John Compton here saying thanks again for watching. And remember, if you've got a guest idea, let us know. Just visit localite.com.